mention, President Obama, we've mentioned it several times today, is meeting with the movers and shakers of Silicon Valley, banking on them to create jobs. Emily Chang sat down with one of the Valley's venture legends to talk more about Washington's role in innovation. Emily, good to see you.
Hey, Lisa. President Obama is hoping to combat unemployment with innovation in the tech economy. And Silicon Valley investors who help fund that innovation really have a lot at stake here. Dick Kramlich of New Enterprise Associates recently raised almost $2.5 billion, more than 2 times the size of any venture fund raised since. He's helped start over 650 companies and says this is just the beginning of internet innovation.
Innovation is taking place across healthcare, in clean tech, and certainly in information technology. And what you're seeing in the information technology area, as represented by social networking, is a very big part of an iceberg. I think that we're about ready to see over the next 12 months something we haven't seen for about 10 years, which is the evidence of Blockbuster IPOs.
How involved do you think the White House should be in financing innovation and helping to start companies?
I think a limited amount of social capital is perhaps justified, but I think it ought to be very short term, and just to get something that might be a high priority initiative off the ground.
Does it at all concern you that the U.S. might be losing its competitiveness?
I think we have to be very vigilant about that. I think we've lost a lot of our competitiveness, and I think the recent accommodations that the Obama administration has made to growth and to innovation and to embrace it the way they have is a very positive thing. And I don't think it's too late for us to get our mojo back. I think that's going to take some effort, but certainly we have the capability and the resources in this country to do it. We've lost a lot of leeway to China in the last few years, and I think looking at them as allies in growth is the way to proceed.
Taxes on venture capital profits could go back up if President Obama doesn't extend tax cuts again, as he said he wouldn't. But venture capitalists claim that they're a critical part of creating jobs, that they play above their weight and should be taxed less, Lisa, because of that.
All right, Emily, let's get to the sort of investor perspective here. Which tech companies in particular, did you talk about which might come out with some of the big IPOs?
He did say it would be a blockbuster year, but he couldn't say anything more specific because he's involved in a lot of these companies. NEA was the first institutional investor in Groupon, for example. Of course, we know Groupon is currently having meetings with bankers about going public. Facebook has said they'll go public, or at least make their financials public, by April of 2012. He did say, and this is interesting, that the success of these companies is the delayed effect of the internet maturing, having an amplified impact on consumers, and consumers and society finally being ready for it. Lisa?
Right.